today's video, I'm going to give you an overview of the Mr. Coffee KG2 single serve brewer. Very easy to use machine, great way again to the world of single serve coffee real quickly and easily, and be able to brew just one cup. The motto of this machine is when you need just one cup, and that's exactly what it's good for. So let's dive in and start talking about the Mr. Coffee KG2 single serve brewer. Talk about what's in the box. With the KG2, of course, you have the KG2 brewer, and it's very compact, gonna fit on a countertop real easily. You get a pack of 5 K-Cups to get you started, so that's a good way to just kind of dive into the world of K-Cups. These are Keurig K-Cups because, of course, K-Cup technology developed by Keurig. And then you have your instruction manual and documentation and various information you need for the machine. That's pretty much it, pretty straightforward what you got in the box. Let's dive in and talk about the features on this machine. All right, so let's start from the bottom up, as we always do with this machine. We have a removable drip tray. It looks good, it's stainless steel, which is nice, so it's very classy looking. Easy to pull out so that you can use larger tumblers with the machine. You have your brew basket as you move on up, and this is very easy to use. Opens up just the same as most of the Keurig machines that we've come to know and use here on aromacup.com. You've got your brew basket and of course your 2 needles that puncture your K-Cup when it's time to brew. We'll brew some coffee momentarily here. On my left-hand side of the machine right here, I have the power button, and when I engage that, that's going to power the machine on. Now, the thing about this machine is that you add water to it anytime it's time to brew, so this machine is not really going to stay on all the time. Now you're going to notice that you have 2 lights right here. You have heating and brewing, so it's really straightforward. Of course, heating, it's going to tell you that the machine is heating up if there's water inside of it, and brewing, going to tell you that it's brewing. And that brew button right there, that's just what you're going to click when it's time to start brewing coffee. Right now I don't have any water inside the machine, so it's going to recognize that and it's going to turn itself off. Speaking of water, let's talk about how you add water to the machine. You're going to find here on the top of the unit, you have this button that's labeled open and close. When you push it back, it snaps the door open. And this is where you're going to actually pour your water in when it's time to start brewing. Now you can brew up to about 10 ounces from this machine. There's a small max fill ring right here. It's blue. It tells you the 8-ounce line and the 10-ounce line. So you're not going to brew huge cups of coffee using this machine, but again, its entire motto is when you need just one cup. So those are all the features of the machine. Let's talk about brewing just one cup using the KG2 for Mr. Coffee. Brewing with the KG2 is really simple and straightforward. Again, the whole motto of this machine is when you need just one cup, so it's real easy to do. To start brewing, first I'm going to add water. I'm going to pop open the water door on the top of the machine, and I'm going to add enough water to brew. Now you can add just really as much as you want, but I'm going to go right up to about the 8 ounces, to a little around the max fill line. So now the machine's going to be ready. I'm going to close that door and pop that button forwards just to lock the water door and make sure that it's ready. So now I can open up the brew basket. I can also power the machine on, and this will get the heating going as well. So now I'm ready to start brewing, and all I need to do is open up my brew basket, and I'm going to take a Green Mountain Coffee Kenyan bold, extra bold K-Cup here, pop that in, and I'm going to just simply close up the brew basket. It closes up really tightly, which is great, and that way you know that you're puncturing that K-Cup properly. Now I'm going to place my cup, and now if I want to start brewing, I'm going to press that brew button. And again, the machine is going to take a little while to heat up and actually start brewing. So that is one thing about this machine, is that it's not going to be as fast as some of the other Keurig brewers that you might be used to using, because it doesn't have a water reservoir and it doesn't sit there powered on all the time staying hot for brewing. So when you add that water and you press that brew power button, the machine's going to start heating up. So we'll give it a little bit of time here in order to do its thing, and we'll come back after we've brewed our coffee. Okay, so now the KG2 has started brewing. It takes about 90 seconds, I've found, from pouring your water in and pressing that brew button on the front of the machine for it to actually get going and start brewing coffee. So it does take a little bit, but that's not really too much of an issue, you know, if you're going to be starting a cup of coffee and then moving around the house, getting some other things done, and you want to just come back to a cup of coffee. So it's really not a big deal, and it's not using the most pressure that I've seen in a single serve machine, but I don't think that's really an issue because, again, with a K-Cup, you've got just the right portion of grounds in order to brew your cup of coffee. Now, one thing I've been impressed with this machine is the temperature of the brew that I've gotten out of it. I've found that a lot of these machines that don't have heating coils that are constantly working and keeping the water hot, they don't really put out a very hot cup of coffee, or maybe not as hot as some folks might like for their cup of coffee to be. But I've found the temperature out of this machine to be quite good, so let's let it finish brewing right here. And let's test the temperature on the KG2. And we're climbing up, we're getting to about 160 degrees. I've seen up to about 170 degrees out of the KG2. So the brew temperature is maybe a little bit inconsistent from time to time, but I think you're going to find that you're going to get a brew of around 160, 165 degrees. So that's pretty good for a little machine. I mean, this is a small machine, as you can see. It really doesn't have a lot of heft to it. It's not going to take up much space on your countertop, which is great. And it makes a good cup of coffee. That's quite good. There's no plasticky taste, which is also really nice. I found that a lot of machines that are primarily made of plastic will actually get the flavor of that plastic in the coffee, and that just, of course, totally puts you off of your cup of coffee pretty quickly. But it tastes real good. It brews in about 90 seconds, and cleanup again is super easy. Pop open your brew basket, take out your spent K-Cup, toss that one aside. You can brew another cup, or of course, you can get on with your day and you've got your cup of coffee. So that's how easy it is to make use of this machine. I found that for just one cup, as the motto for this machine says, it works just great. Pricing on the Mr. Coffee KG2, pretty good. About $90 is the suggested retail price. If you shop around, of course, you can find different pricing on this machine more than likely, but that's what you're generally going to find this machine retailing for, is about $90. Not too bad a price to be able to dive into the world of single-serve coffee, get a machine that's going to do, just one cup of coffee, which if that's all that you need, this is going to work really well. So that brings us to our bottom line. Of course, bottom line on this machine, if you only need to do one cup at a time, and really just do one cup and then get on with your day, and you